Before you click away, imagine waking up completely free, free from debt, free from clutter, free from yesterday's pain. This isn't a fantasy. It's the daily truth of a tribe that owns nothing yet possesses everything. What's their secret? Stay with me, and I'll show you a way of life that might just change yours. Picture this: you wake up tomorrow and your phone is gone. Your car, your house, your favorite pair of shoes all vanished. What's left? For most of us, the thought is terrifying. We'd feel naked, unmoored, like we've lost a piece of ourselves. But what if I told you there's a people who wake up every day with nothing? No possessions, no titles, no baggage, and they're not just surviving, they're thriving. Deep in a rainforest, far from our world of notifications and deadlines, lives a tribe I'll call the Vara. Their name means flow, like a river that never clings to the banks it touches. The Vara don't own land. They don't own homes. They don't even own the tools they craft from wood and vine. To them, ownership is a trap, a weight that tethers the soul to things that fade. I first heard of the Vara from an anthropologist who spent years among them. He described a ritual so simple, yet so profound, it haunted me. Every evening, as the sun dips below the canopy, the Vara gather in a circle of stones. They bring nothing, no offerings, no sacred objects. They sit silent and perform what they call the letting go. It's not a prayer or a chant. It's a deliberate act of releasing attachment to objects, to people, even to pain. Why does this matter to us? Because we're drowning in attachment. We cling to our phones, our jobs, our grudges, as if they define us. The Vara teach us something radical. Freedom isn't about gaining more. It's about letting go of what we never needed. But how do you let go when everything you own feels like a piece of your identity? Let's step into their world and find out. The Vara see life as a river. A river doesn't hoard water. It moves, it gives, it transforms. To them, attachment is like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away, and all you're left with is wet palms and frustration. This isn't just about physical things. The Vara don't cling to status, to grudges, or even to time. In our world, we measure wealth by what we accumulate: money, followers, memories. The Vara measure wealth by what they release. A rich life, they say, is one where your heart is light, unburdened by the need to possess. Take their approach to tools. A Vara hunter might spend hours carving a spear from a sapling, sharpening it with a stone until it's perfect. But when the hunt is done, he leaves the spear behind, leaning against a tree for someone else to use or for the earth to reclaim. To us, this seems wasteful. To them, it's freedom. The spear served its purpose. Clinging to it would only weigh him down. This philosophy shapes their community. There's no mine or yours. Food is shared without question. Stories are told without claiming ownership. Even love, the Vara believe, is not something to possess but something to experience, like a breeze you feel but cannot hold. But what happens when loss isn't a choice? When life takes something you can't bear to release? The Vara have an answer, and it starts with their children. The Vara teach their children to let go before they even learn to hold. From a young age, kids are given small tasks, like weaving a basket or carving a flute. But here's the catch. Once the task is done, they give their creation away, not to a specific person, but to the forest itself. A child might set their basket by a stream or hang their flute on a branch. It's not about sacrifice, it's about trust. The forest, they believe, always provides. I imagine a girl named Lyra, her small hands weaving reeds into a basket under the watchful eye of her mother. When it's finished, she doesn't keep it to show off her skill. She walks to the river, sets it on the water, and watches it float away. Her mother smiles, not because the basket is gone, but because Lyra is learning to be free. This ritual shapes how the Vara face loss. When a loved one dies, they don't build monuments or hoard belongings. They gather, share stories, and release the person's possessions back to the earth. It's not cold or dismissive. It's a celebration of a life that flowed through the world, unburdened by chains. For us, letting go feels like losing. For the Vara, it's like breathing, natural, essential, life-giving. But how do they face the pain of loss without breaking? The answer lies in a ritual so beautiful, it might just change how you see grief. Every evening, the Vara gather in their circle of stones. No one speaks. No one brings anything. They sit, cross-legged, palms open on their knees, and close their eyes. This is the heart of the letting go ritual. It's not about giving up objects. It's about releasing the invisible weights we carry: fear, regret, anger. The Vara believe every emotion is a guest. Joy visits and you welcome it. Pain visits and you honor it. But no guest stays forever. To cling to an emotion is to trap it, to let it fester. So in the circle, they imagine each thought, each feeling, as a leaf falling from a tree. They watch it drift to the ground, carried away by the wind. I picture an elder, her face lined with years of laughter and loss, sitting in the circle. She's thinking of her brother who passed years ago. She feels the ache, lets it rise, and then, in her mind, she sets it on the river. Not to forget him, but to free him and herself from the weight of grief. This ritual isn't about erasing pain. It's about trusting that pain, like everything else, flows. The Vara don't fear loss because they practice letting go every single day. But what about the practical side? How does a life without attachment actually work in a world that demands survival? Let's follow a Vara hunter to find out. Dawn breaks and a Vara hunter named Kale slips through the forest, his feet silent on the moss. He carries no pack, no extra gear, just a bow made yesterday and a quiver of arrows he'll leave behind tomorrow. The Vara don't track animals the way we might imagine, with traps or gadgets. They read the forest like a book. A bent twig, a faint scuff in the dirt, the way a bird's song changes, these are their maps. Kale's skill isn't just in his aim, but in his detachment. He doesn't hunt for pride or trophies. He hunts to feed his people, and every step is a meditation on impermanence. If he misses a shot, he doesn't curse or dwell. He lets the moment go, trusting the forest will provide another. This mindset extends to everything. The Vara don't store food for months or build permanent homes. They move with the seasons, living in shelters of leaves and vines that collapse when they leave. To us, this might seem precarious. To them, it's liberation. The forest is their home, their provider, their teacher. Why build walls when the world itself is enough? But what happens when the forest doesn't provide? How do the Vara face scarcity without fear? Their secret lies in a hidden knowledge we've forgotten. The Vara know the forest's secrets, not just its animals, but its plants. They don't have pharmacies or hospitals, but they have healers who can find medicine in a single leaf. A root to ease fever, a bark to soothe pain, a flower to calm the mind. This knowledge isn't written down, it's passed through stories, songs, and silent observation. But their greatest medicine isn't a plant, it's trust. The Vara believe the forest always provides, even in scarcity. When food is low, they don't panic or hoard. They share what little they have, trusting that tomorrow will bring enough. This trust isn't blind faith. It's built on centuries of living in harmony with the land, knowing that attachment to more only breeds fear. I imagine a healer, her hands stained with earth, teaching a young apprentice to find a certain vine. Look, she says, the forest hides nothing from those who ask with open hands. This trust shapes their resilience. They don't fear scarcity because they don't cling to abundance. So what does this mean for us? People trapped in a world of endless wanting, the Vara's final lesson might just set us free. Let's bring this home. The Vara's ritual of letting go isn't just a cultural quirk, it's a challenge to everything we've been taught. We are told to chase, to hold, to build. But what if the secret to peace isn't in having more, but in needing less? What if freedom isn't a destination, but a daily choice? Try this tonight, sit quietly for 5 minutes. Close your eyes. Picture something you're holding onto, a grudge, a fear, a thing you can't live without. Now imagine setting it on a river, watching it drift away. Not to lose it, but to free it. To free yourself. The Vara do this every day, and it's why they live with a lightness we can barely imagine. Their philosophy isn't about rejecting the modern world. It's about asking us to question what we carry. Do your possessions serve you, or do you serve them? Does your pain define you, or can you let it flow? The Vara show us that letting go isn't weakness, it's strength. It's the courage to trust that life, like a river, will always carry you forward. If this story moved you, don't just click away. Try the Vara's ritual tonight. Sit in silence, let something go, and see what freedom feels like. And if you want to dive deeper into the wisdom of indigenous cultures, hit that subscribe button. There's so much more to learn. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of the Vara's world. If their story touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's keep exploring the wisdom that's been here all along. See you in the next video.